Hello there, guys, and welcome back to my channel on a very disappointing, aggravating, bad day as Chelsea were absolutely battered, annihilated, destroyed, embarrassed, and all the other bad words you could think of by bloody West Bromwich Albion at Stamford Bridge. As Chelsea lost 2-5 at home again to West Brom. They're the second worst team in the league. They're pretty much already relegated. I mean, we might have helped them out now, but hey. There's so much to discuss today because pretty much everybody had an absolute shocker. There was maybe one or two exceptions, but those weren't good. Those were just decent or acceptable. But 90% of the team were just absolutely shocking from minute 1 to minute 90, whatever, or until whenever they were subbed off. It was honestly disgraceful. To discuss all of that today, I'm joined initially, of course, by my partner in crime for these player ratings live streams, Mr. CFCPys. Bro, how are you?
I'm not good, as you can probably tell. I'm not good. I am very angry. Yeah, I'll just keep it short because I'm pissed, to be honest. I'm really pissed.
Yeah, no, it's just bad. It was honestly bad from top to bottom. Obviously, we'll go through everything. We'll go through all the individual player ratings in just a minute. But to do all of that, we're not just myself and almost said your actual name then, CFCPys today. We're also joined by a good friend from a Chelsea social, a very special guest. See, we all love you, Jay. You know, you just come across so eloquently and so, educated and so bring some good vibes across, even on a bad day. Joined by Mr. Jay McIntosh. Bro, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. The game is not the one, but I'm trying not to let it ruin my weekend. It's nice and sunny and got to try and look for the silver lining, mate, because otherwise it's just we're just going to have a terrible day. So I'm okay. How are you?
Well, other than the game, I'm good. But, the game ruined it all. See, it's one of those. I tweeted this. I said this on Blues Fans TV as well. I honestly hate international breaks more than I bloody hate Tottenham. This is the worst thing in the world. First, they make us wait 2 weeks for Chelsea finally to come back. And then we always come back and are shit every time. And then not to top it off, it was also an early kickoff. So it was written in the stars already that we was going to be bad. It was honestly a nightmare. But Jay, just quickly, before we get into individual player ratings, what did you make of the game? What did you make of the performance? A couple of things that you want to highlight before we talk about individual players, maybe.
I was just disappointed that it was so naive, timid, clueless, lackluster, lacking in any sort of decent creativity against such a bad team. I know Sheffield are bottom of the Prem, but I honestly do think that West Brom are the worst team in the league. Well, I did before this game, them and Newcastle.
Yeah, not today they weren't. Some of those finishers, bro, we haven't finished like that all season long.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some of their finishing was crazy, to be fair. So credit to West Brom because we didn't deserve anything from that game. It was ridiculous. So, and it's not even the fact that we were so bad. They were good as well. So they deserve the win and they deserve credit. And what it just showed that Chelsea squad once again just suffers from such a level of arrogance that assumes that they're better than others sometimes. And then they get brought down a peg or two. And this is a motif that we're consistently aware of and we see. So yeah, I'm just disappointed in that, mate. That's what it is. And it's sad because Tottenham are 3 points off us. West Ham are obviously very close. Everton, if they win their 2 games, will overtake us. Liverpool, if they beat Arsenal, are 2 points off us. It's just not what you want to see, really.
No, it really isn't what you want to see. And it's one of those. I mean, top 4, it's not like we lost it now, but the race was still well and truly on. And, we dropped points in too many of these games where we expected to win. Southampton, Leeds, today, it's great that we, got wins against Everton and Liverpool, but you have to back that up with beating these teams that you're expected to beat. And we didn't manage that today, but instead not even managed to, get a draw. We actually got beat, and it was dreadful. Pice, do you want to run it down quickly while I try to get the what's it called? The lineup up on the bottom screen so you can roll along there.
Yeah, just like Jay said, it's the arrogance that some of these players have, I think, in the back of their minds. I tweeted something like this. I'm just, how many years, how many managers does it have to take for these players just to, because to be honest, it's mostly the same group of players that we have. They're just so complacent, just mentality issues. And I think the thing that annoyed me the most was maybe the most angry was we started to play well, or actually try at least, when we was 4-1 down. Like you've done amazing before the international break. Why the hell would you come into this game against West Brom that are fighting for their lives and expect just to roll them over just because we're Chelsea? Football doesn't work like that. I'm not, you know what? Disappointed is not the right word for me. I am fuming with these players today. Absolutely fuming. Like, honestly, they are just, all of them that played today, disgrace, honestly. That's so bad. The application, the attitude was terrible. Yes, you can blame Tuchel for substitutions and maybe not going to 4 at the back. But at the end of the day, the players have to go out there and perform. And they didn't. And it's been the same for so many years. We can do really well, and then all of a sudden we can just get smashed, and all the problems come flooding back again. I think people as well are just saying, oh, you know, we got a red card. It's 5 goals to West Brom. These guys don't score. These guys score 1 or 0 goals a game. 5 goals. Like honestly, is this like some sort of rigged like game or something that we've just paid off for? Like, I'm so confused. Like, this is just bullshit. Honestly, I'm mad. Honestly, with these players.
Yeah, no, I see it. Like, it's one of those. Like, yeah, West Brom don't score, but they did today, and it's one of those. Like, for us, whenever we have these real bad games, everything just comes together. The ref just really doesn't go our way. I mean, we can discuss that, whether I'm the only one thinking that, but really doesn't go away. Then we have individual howlers, players getting sent off. The opponent, who are usually dreadful, score some of the best finishes I've seen in a long time. Like that goal, that third goal, was it? First one by Robinson. What finish that is. Like, you know what I mean? That's ridiculous. Like, I don't even want to see what happens when Timo Werner tries that. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, Stamford Bridge is not high enough for him to fit that in the stadium.
This agenda.
I had to do it. No, but like, it's just crazy. It just doesn't go away. It just really, really doesn't go away. I'm honestly tempted to give a referee rating today, but let's start at the back. Let's start at the back with Edouard Mendy. What shall we say about him? My thought is he should have done better for the first goal. I think it was kind of caught in no man's land. Didn't come out properly. Didn't stay on his line properly. Not saying it was an absolute shocker, and that's why he was now dreadful, but he should have done a bit better on it, let's say. And he looked bad on, what was it, the fourth goal? It just looked like he kind of got his feet stuck in the ground. Like, he didn't. I don't know whether he expected it to go in the other corner, hence why he seemed slow to go the other way, because that shot wasn't far from him. So that looked a bit weird. I'm not saying it was awful, but I don't know. I'd give him a 4, something like that. What are you saying? Let me go with you first, Jay.
I don't think anyone gets above a 3 or 4 in this entire team today, to be honest. Mate, if you concede 5 goals, I just don't think 4 is I don't think that's right. Maybe 2, 3. He was fine, but when you concede 5 goals, I think you just have to accept that that's just a terrible day at the office. And but yeah, 3, I think maybe.
I'm just thinking in terms of 4, because I think I agree with what you said, but there were players, if that makes sense, more than 4 ratings worse than him, or more than 3 ratings worse than him. And we can't exactly go into the negatives. That's why I'm thinking 4. That's the only reason, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, I hear you. You're the man in charge, mate. So
no,
whatever goes,
we'll see what Pice has to say in a minute. Maybe we'll go with 3. Don't worry. But Pice, what are you saying? 3, 4, more, less?
To be honest, most of the other players don't get above a 1 for me, so I'll give Mendy a 2, just because he wasn't none of his. He didn't make any howlers. Like, there wasn't. I don't know. I think it's higher than just about than some of the other players, especially the defenders, who were just abysmal. But yeah, his decision making, and positioning, especially on the first goal, was a bit dodgy. I don't know, man. It's just 5 goals. You can't get a 3 or 4 for me. I'd even put him as a 1, but again, none of his shots were really that.
He did make one very good save to stop it from getting 3-1 earlier in the game.
But he still conceded 5 goals, so that's awful. So he's the goalie. I don't care. I'm not giving him above a 2 for me.
Fair enough.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to agree with that. I actually will agree. I think 2 as
now,
well.
now you're making things more difficult again, Jay. See, I was going to say I said 4, you said 3, I said 2, so we have to give him a 3. All right,
I would accept a 3 if you wanted to stick with your 4 like strongly, and 2 or 3, I guess. Sorry, I'm being a bit of a flip flop, but I agree with everything.
No. I get it. Like there's people in the chat, a lot of them saying 5, some of them saying 3.
5.
Yeah, I mean, I don't agree with a 5. Even I don't agree with a 5. Do you know what I mean? That is quite funny. What did that dentist do to Edu? He's obviously had the tooth operation or whatever. Let's go with 3. Maybe we can adjust it towards the end again. But let's go with Aspie. Probably the least bad of our back 3, shall we say, but still bad. I would also go for a 3. But again, please enlighten me if you boys disagree. But it just weren't great, you know. It seemed like whoever it was that elbowed him in the face knocked every sense of brain cell out of him, because there was just no defensive stability from the whole team after that, quite frankly. But yeah, let me go with you first, Pies. What are you saying about Aspie? 3? Less? What are you saying? I mean, I know you said you want to give everyone a 1, but you know.
No, like genuinely, he was terrible. Honestly, a lot of misplaced passes as well. Didn't offer anything going forward. Just shocking. Crosses were bad. 1.5 probably.
Okay, Jay, what about you?
Yeah, 2, I think. No. Just so bad. It's just so bad.
This is gonna be funny. Yeah, no, fair. I know. I don't even disagree. I also think he was worse than Mendy. So 2, I guess. Then if you think about it like that, Thiago Silva to me is a weird one, because he had to make the foul for the first yellow after Jorginho made a howl of a mistake, and I still don't think the second one is a yellow card. I still think he blocked the shot.
I do.
No, he went to block a shot to me, and the guy just ran into him. Like, it's a foul, fair enough, but it's not a yellow card. Like, the guy could have just stopped walking, and then he wouldn't have even touched Thiago Silva. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I concede it's a foul just because he went in a bit silly, but I just don't see how that's a second yellow card, especially when you don't give anything for the guy nearly breaking Werner's ankle. I don't get that. So that's why I think it's a bit difficult to really... I know we're giving these low ratings right now, but Thiago Silva, like I said, he had to make the foul for the first one. I don't think it was as a yellow card for the second one. You could argue, it was stupid. But I don't even know what to rate him. So let me go with you guys first. What would you have said, Jay?
1.
Okay.
I thought he was really poor. And to be honest, like, yeah, okay, the first yellow, I understand. Like, had to be done. I mean, did it have to be done? It was only a few minutes in. I understand that it was that he made that decision. But second one, oh my goodness, this is a guy that has been at the absolute top of world football for what, 15 years, 10 years, and like, he makes a block where I think he could have stayed on his feet. It was outside the box, but then like, it's the follow through that catches him. And I mean, I'm judging it in isolation, right? I still believe that the foul on Werner should have stood, but that doesn't impact how I'm viewing what Thiago Silva brought to the game, which is very little. But for a player of that level that we all consistently praise, that we're so thankful that he's in our team, to show that it's such an immature performance from him and just thoughtless. And I just, it's just such a letdown. So I cannot give him more than a 1 today because, well, I didn't think he was the worst player on the pitch, but his lack of intelligence, which rarely, if ever, we see from him, let us down massively today. So yeah, 1 for me.
Fair enough. Pice, what about you? 1? A bit more?
No, honestly, I'd agree with Jay. I'd say a 1. First of all, I just want to say, like, I love Thiago Silva, and people have been like really reactionary and saying, "Oh, you know what? This is why he shouldn't have come back in the team." Like, don't give me that bollocks, guys. Like, honestly, Thiago Silva is still one of the best centre backs in Europe for me. He was very rusty today. He made a stupid decision on both, in my opinion. Like, you guys saying like he had to do the first foul, but like, I don't think it was a guaranteed goal. I mean, he could have easily just, I don't know. Would you say he had to make that, or like? I don't know.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
I think after, obviously, Zuma made the tackle and kind of tackled the ball back against the attacker's leg, and then it fell even better into the run of him. So I think, obviously, you never know.
Yeah,
He might have put it wide. Mendy might have saved it. I won't lie to you guys. The only way I can maybe understand why the ref sent him off for the second one is because I think he was considering sending him off for the first one because it was last man. So I actually thought initially when that foul happened, he would send him off straight away. So that's the only way how I can conceivably explain to myself why he would send him off for the second one. But I think just because it's last man and he didn't even attempt to go for the ball, just pulled him down. But I think if you want to make sure that you stop it, it's one of those. It's just one of those tactical fouls that you'd say you'd have to make. A bit like the Jorginho one against Atletico in the first leg against them, in my opinion. I know what Jay said. It was early in the game. We're a much better team. Even if we go 1-0 down, sure. But we aren't exactly known to score that many goals recently, especially against low blocks. So maybe he didn't feel so comfortable in us scoring 2 today. I think he had to make it, but hey, if both of you are saying with 1 and a lot of people seem to agree with you, I will go with that as well.
No, like, it's true. I just think, as Jay said, kind of just an immature performance. Like, I don't know. I was just expecting him to come back in, just absolutely boss the back line, and it just didn't happen. He was sloppy on the ball as well, just really rusty. And then those 2 fouls. I mean, again, on the second one, his second yellow, I've got to say, the guy's reaction was absolutely stupid. Like the other player.
Say that again, please.
Like that influence of ref decision right away. Like, let's be honest, and it always does with the team.
Yeah, you're breaking up a bit right now, Pice. I don't know, maybe.
I heard what he said, though. I heard what he said.
Okay. But still, he's breaking up some. I don't know, maybe you need to disconnect and come back just so it gets better again. I don't know. But I guess we get next to Zuma, who I thought, personally, I said what I said about Thiago Silva. I don't necessarily think it was a 1 for the reasons I explained. But Zuma, in my opinion, was the worst of the back 3. Like, at the start of the game, it wasn't that bad. But after that, it's just he stopped bothered. He just stopped being bothered by the time the first goal happened. Fourth goal happened. He missed a sitter to make it 4-3 at the time, which might have rescued us a point. You never know. Honestly, he's not the worst player, so I'm gonna say 0.5. But if we're gonna give Thiago a 1, I think Zuma has to be worse. Hence why I would have given Thiago more, because I know he got sent off. But again, I don't necessarily blame him as much as you guys for getting sent off. So to me, Zuma was worse.
Oh mate, Zuma was so bad. So bad, so bad. He should have scored twice. I mean, he's just not very good in the back 3, and
especially on the left, which I felt a bit for him, to be honest. Like, I thought we would get the Tuchel's rating later, but I didn't really understand why Zuma started in the first place, to be honest.
It's just foolish. It's just foolish. But do you know what? Just quickly, actually. There's over 100 people watching, only like 30 likes. It's not that fun to do Chelsea content on days that we lose. And there's content creators doing loads of stuff to make sure people are entertained on this holiday. So please can we make sure that we're liking the video and subscribing, because we are close to 10k subscribers on this channel. Laurenz is smashing it. So please make sure you like, because it's really not fun for us having to sit here all day, all weekend and talk about dreadful football. So please make sure you like the video and show some support. But Zuma, mate, Zuma's a 1 or a 0. Like, I would happily accept the 0.5 if that's what you give him. I thought he was dread, but he still wasn't the worst player on the pitch, which says a lot.
No, he wasn't. Hence why 0.5. Yeah. All right. Pice's internet seems to be a little bit all over the shop today. We'll just move with that. And by the way, appreciate that, Jay. Also, check out the Chelsea social. Their link is down in the description. Subscribe to those guys. Check out Jay's Twitter down in the description below as well. These guys and him deserve way more followers and subscribers and all that stuff, like without a doubt. But like you said, subscribe if you haven't already. Smash the like button. Use the super chat function if you really want to, let us know about something or whatever. But yeah, maybe if Pice comes back and has a strong argument against the 0.5, we'll just go with that for now.
He won't. He won't.
No, I don't think so either. And I guess next is Reece James, who you and I already had this discussion on Twitter. I think he was the main culprit for the second goal. I think why you chipping the ball back in injury time of the first half, because we already conceded 1. Let's just get to half time with a draw. Don't do chip backs 25 meters from our goal when clearly when clearly everyone's head's gone right now. Just get to the break. Don't do stupid things. Punt it out for a throw in, punt it long to their goalkeeper. I don't care. But don't be chipping it back. You can say what you want about Jorginho, whether it was an intentional backwards head up, whatever. I think he was too short. I knew he wouldn't get enough on it to head it forwards, so he tried to head it back. Yes, wrong decision, I agree. But don't even, like, if we're going to blame Jorginho for Thiago Silva's first yellow card, then we have to blame Reece James for Thiago Silva not getting a better header off, because the ball was just shocking. So, yeah, Reece James had some decent moments. That he had a one shot in the first half to make it 2-0, I think. Or was that in the second half to make it 2-2?
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. So he should have done better with that shot, to be honest. But again, he's a right back. How harsh should I be on that? I don't know. Maybe 2, maybe 3 at a push, but I would probably say 2.
Yeah, 2 definitely. Do you know what? Jam raised a really good point. That was he felt that the fullbacks at top clubs like Bayern Munich would have scored that chance that Reece had. Now, Reece does take set pieces occasionally. He has an amazing right foot, and he just, I know it's not that easy, but it's so vital to be putting those shots onto, in the back of the net when you're in that position. And I was so disappointed with Reece today, as I was with the whole team. A 2. I mean, it's just so poor, so poor. I thought, he was strong, and he's throwing himself about a bit, but so what? Do you know what I mean? 2 for me, man. 2 for me.
Jester, you're a weird man. When we drew 0-0 against Leeds and the defense were good, you was having a go at us for giving out 6s and 7s, and now we lose 5-2, and you're saying we have to rate them higher. You confuse me, bro. I respect you, but you confuse me. You do confuse me a little bit. Pice is back. Let's see how long it works. I hope it keeps working, because we love Pice over here. Just quickly. Do you want to let us know, Pice? Do you agree with a 0.5 for Zuma and a 2 for Reece?
All right. Hopefully it's working now. It's
Seems
still
to be
lagging
good
a bit,
now,
but for Zuma, what's that?
It's working now. Yeah. You might not be able to hear me yet, though. I think. And he's gone again. I think we might just be a trial and error today. We're Pice this internet. But I guess next we go to Alonso, and Alonso is a super weird one. Unbelievable free kick for the first goal. Obviously Johnson got a fingertip on that, and then Pulisic, reacted well. Good, well done by Pulisic there. Alonso almost scored a 2-2 in the second half as well. If it wasn't for, I cannot remember that defender's name to save my life, but kind of deflected onto the post. And he was the guy that got into the best positions of any of our players in the final third. But every time he was there, he messed up the final decision. Especially the first one, it was what beautiful ball. And then he had our first shot of the game, right? And he controlled it well, but then he waited. And it seemed like he couldn't decide, do I shoot, do I pass, do I shoot, do I pass? And he went for the shot, but he went for the shot too late. And it kind of summed him up today. Got into great positions, actually did well in that. But then the decision maker just let him down so badly, other than obviously for the free kick, right? So I don't really know what to rate him. I'd probably push him to a 3. I would possibly say 4, because the free kick was really good. But he was also so bad defensively once Thiago Silva was off. He got beat every time. And we wasn't playing Messi's. We wasn't playing Sterling's or I don't know, these best wingers in the world. He was getting ripped to pieces by West Brom. Defensively, he did good things offensively, but defensively, he was just getting ripped to pieces. He looked as slow as ever today. It was just the perfect example why, that's why he's not a left back. Because, and I can't remember, one of you guys said earlier, why didn't we change the back four? I think we kind of did. Not in terms of personnel, but in terms of shape. It was more Reece as a right mid, Aspie as a right back, and Alonso as a left back. Obviously, to a 4-4-1-1, you could argue after the sending off. So, no, actually, I'll tell a lie. I would give him at max a 3 because he was defensively so bad. What would you say?
Yeah, 2 or 3. The only thing that saves him consistently, and it's happened again today, is the fact that he's just a bit of a nuisance. Obviously, he had that shot that was well blocked by a defender and it went onto the post. The free kick was outstanding, which is what you expect. Defensively non-existent. do you know what I was most disappointed about of Alonso today, right? And it's not, I know everyone in the chat's like saying that he got exposed, but I kind of expect that when he plays. He's just so bad at defending that I never expect him to really do anything decent defensively. I thought he was okay for the opening 20 minutes. My biggest issue with him is if he plays, he has to be an attacking threat because he's defensively so weak. Okay. And there were just a few cases where the ball would be on the far right-hand side and it would come into the box, and naturally Alonso runs straight through down to the byline. So wherever the ball trickles through, he can get onto the end. And he's always done that. And for some reason, he would stop maybe 3, 4, 5 yards before the byline. And I'd see the ball just go straight past, like across the face of goal. And I'm like, what are you doing? Because if he just continues his run, he just taps it in. And I was thinking, Chilwell would have at least carried on the run. I don't know why Alonso was stopping there. And that was so frustrating for me because he's there to cause attacking issues, really.
Was that at 1-0 still as well? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, I mean, he gets points for being a nuisance and for causing more problems than pretty much any other player we had did. Yeah. But defensively, it's so bad. He's so bad. And he gets exposed like that. It's just shocking. So 2, 3. I don't know.
It's weird because defensively I would give him a 0. Going forward, I would give him probably a 6. Just because he was good, but then the decision-making kind of let him down. But then he's also a left wing back, and then for the majority of the gameplay, there's a left back, meaning your defensive duties are more important, meaning that kind of rating is higher. So shall we say 2.5? Just because I still think he was better than Reece.
Yeah. I agree with you as well. I think he's better than Reece. It's a shame. I think Reece is struggling for consistency when adapting to a back three and a wing back.
Exactly. Nice. Let's see if it works now. I think he restarted his router. I don't know how you pronounce it in English. Regardless, give us your thoughts. Zuma 0.5, Reece 2, and Alonso 2.5, mostly for his offensive part of the game.
Wait, what was it? Alonso 2.5?
Yeah.
Wow, I would have had him and Zuma at a 0, man. They were dreadful.
But he took the free kick,
Nah, I don't
and he hit the post.
He was shocking.
And he hit the post, nearly made it 2-2.
He was shocking, especially defensively.
Yeah, he was defensively, sure.
So bad.
We said the point was that he got 0 defensively and then a few points for causing a bit of a nuisance up front.
All right, maybe a 1 then.
Okay, but to make that clear, what would you give Reece James though?
Oh, Reece. No, I thought he was pretty average as well, to be honest. I don't know. Reece is a weird one. I didn't really notice him much. So, what do I give him? What did you guys give him? A 2 or something?
A 2, yeah. Especially, I didn't think he was unnoticeable because I was fuming at that chip ball before the second goal.
Oh, yeah, true. He did that. And he had that shot as well that was straight at the keeper. I thought maybe he drill it low, but maybe being a bit picky. I guess 2's okay. He's definitely better than the other defenders at least. Anyway, I thought so. Maybe a 2, yeah.
It's weird because Jay and I agreed that Alonso was overall better than Reece because they were both non-existent defensively. I mean, conceded 5 goals, right? But Alonso actually did something going forward. He was the most dangerous player we had. Maybe Timo Werner will get to that, right? But hey, do you really want us to at least have level, or will you accept our 2s and 2.5s here? If you make us lower it, I'll lower it.
Honestly, I think you should lower Alonso. I thought he was dreadful, but that's just me.
Then we'll give him a 2 as well, just because obviously it's a collective rating. And move on to Jorginho, who clearly gets a 0. If there was negatives, he's getting a negative. That was not quite as bad, but close to Bakayoko against Watford.
It was worse. It was worse.
No, he didn't get sent off. He didn't get sent off, so it can't have been worse.
I don't care. He should have been. It should have been. I'd rather have played 10 men than had that goon on the pitch. He was so bad.
He really
That's the
was.
worst performance I've seen in a Chelsea shirt from anyone in so long. Since that Bakayoko West against Watford performance. Him and Kovacic. So bad. So bad.
Kovacic was really good second half, though. Kovacic was really good second half, though. He was the only one driving us forward.
I thought he was cover shit today. I'm not going to
Really good is a stretch, but still.
Bro, he was. He was
decent.
the only one trying in the second half, at least.
Yeah,
Jorginho
true,
was terrible,
but
he
not
was-
really good.
Good then. He wasn't in the same bracket as Jorginho. Jorginho was on another
No, I
level
agree.
of bad, but
I agree.
this is why I don't like this whole Jovic thing, because Kovacic gets dragged in with Jorginho, and Kovacic is so much better than Jorginho as a player. So, like, I don't like the whole narrative around Jovic and all that. And I think as well, I know you guys are annoyed with Jorginho, but like a lot of like on the timeline today, I think people are just extra annoyed anyway, because I don't know why, but it's just, I don't know, everyone just seems to hate Jorginho anyway. So like when he has a really bad performance, and it's just 10 times worse. So like, I don't know, like if Mount had this bad game today, would he be, slaughtered like Jorginho has been? I don't think so.
No,
Like
100%,
Jorginho has
no, he
been
wouldn't,
very,
obviously.
very good under Tuchel. So I don't understand why. Like I get why people are annoyed, but I don't know. But I saw like reactionary takes like sell him, you can't play again and all that nonsense. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like, just looking at today's game, he was absolutely diabolical, but it doesn't take anything away from the very good games he had, previously, right? But just today, he was the worst player on the pitch. Like, he couldn't do anything right. Every pass went to the opponent or was just bad or pointless. He obviously caused Thiago Silva's first yellow card. Him and Kovacic were a combined effort to cause Thiago Silva's second yellow card. He was partly to blame for the first goal. Was he? No, he wasn't at all. My bad. But he was partly to blame for the second goal. I maybe give Jay that. But honestly, zero. Like, he was the worst player on the pitch. Like,
zero. Yeah, 100%.
0.
Without a doubt. Billy Gilmore should have played 1,000,000%.
I disagree with that, but like,
it couldn't have been any worse. There's no way it could have been worse.
No.
There's
In
no
hindsight, sure, but we wouldn't have known that.
Mate, to be fair, I said on the pod with Daniel Charles, I said I would have started Gilmore today
Instead of Jorginho.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as much as I have a Werner agenda, you have a Jorginho agenda. So.
No, I don't. I don't mind him. The agenda I push the most, I think Christensen's really good. That's the one I push the most.
But who doesn't push that these days?
Yeah, that's true.
But Pies, I agree on the 0, I presume, yeah?
Yeah, as long as Zuma gets a 0 as well, because I thought he was equally as bad. So
Jay and I seem to agree that Jorginho was so bad that he just has to be the only 0, if that makes sense. And so we gave a 0.5. Maybe we can adjust it at the end. But what about Kovacic? Because clearly we have some disagreeing opinions here. Someone say Christensen, big up Lewis.
Yes, Lewis.
Big up Lewis. What about Kovacic? Let me go with you first, Jay, before we get the positivity of Pies in, and then I'll try to even it out between the two of you.
I really, really like Kovacic. He's such a good player. But today he was cover shit. He was so bad. I don't care what anyone says. Like, I know PYS is a big fan of Kovacic. I understand that he'll like back him when he needs to. I get it. But mate, he was so bad. I just didn't think he offered anything. There was one decent pass he made, understandable. And I saw people in the comments saying, he's the best player in the second half. We conceded 3 goals in the second half to West Brom. 3 goals. And there's another comment that was, he's the best in the final 30 minutes. We conceded 3 goals in the final 30 minutes. I just don't know what he's doing. His shooting outside the box is atrocious. It's so bad. And
I think that shot would have gone on target if it didn't take a deflection.
I don't care. I don't care. I've just thought it was, honestly, I really rarely rage about players, but those two in the middle today, I really did not. I saw Kovacic's stats, like 80% pass accuracy is poor for a player of that caliber. It just is.
Do you know what Jorginho's was?
Oh, I don't even know or care. I think that guy counts as passes in his head. Yeah, probably was high, to be fair. I expect him to make some, like, to complete dribbles, make a few tackles. He's in the middle of the park, and that's kind of his game. But I really, really was utterly disappointed with Kovacic there. I thought he was so bad, and I just didn't see what he was offering at all. I didn't see what Kovacic added to the team whatsoever besides, nothing. I don't think he added anything today, but I'm prepared to be people to disagree with me, of course.
Sorry, I just have to. I don't know if this is your real name, but if that's your real name, it's probably the best name I've ever seen in my life. I presume the second name isn't, but even if your first name is, that's brilliant. Anyway, Pice, bring it back with some. No, actually, Jay, what would you rate Kovacic then? A 1 or what are we saying?
Yeah.
2?
Yeah, 1.
Okay, Pice, what about you?
Obviously, I disagree, especially in the second half. Like, if he played like he did in the first half, fair enough. But in the second half, he was really positive, and it actually reminded me of, like, remember the Leicester game under Lampard when Mount was the only one trying to drive forward and try and create something. Kovacic was trying to do that, and yes, he's not good at creating, he's not good at shooting, but like that, you can't like pinpoint those things against him because that's not his game anyway. He drives the ball forward, he gets out wide. It's hard to even play.
Yeah, but then we shouldn't give Alonso a 2
anyway,
because we know he's shit.
So compact. So, like, what do you want him to do? You want him to be like prime Xavi or something? Like, I don't know.
No, I just think like if you beat the press, like if you beat the press, if Kovacic beats the press, which he does consistently, like I just thought his final third passing was shocking. Like playing out wide, what's the point? Because the wide men were dreadful all day. That he played one great through ball to Werner, which I think Werner should have got a foot on, but low confidence he didn't. But like, you know, you have to criticize a player that's of Kovacic's level whose shooting is so poor. Like I know it's not his game, but there are so many midfielders whose game is not shooting that can shoot better than Kovacic, and it's just so frustrating. It really genuinely frustrates me because it's like, well, how can he not at least have be a competent shooter? He is a seriously poor shooter, like finisher, shooter of the ball, and it's just not good enough. I really don't think that aspect of his game is good enough. And yeah.
What would you rate him, Pice? Kovacic today?
I don't think he gets higher than a 2. I just don't think he was.
After all that, you're giving him a 2. I thought you was going to say like 5 or something.
No. Listen, we did concede 5 goals. I just don't like this whole like thing around he can't shoot and stuff. Yeah, so what? But it's not like, you know, I don't know. I don't think. You know, whenever we discuss Kova, no one ever brings up his shooting anyway. But then as soon as we lose and it's a bad result, Kovacic, they bring up that attribute, and everyone seems to ignore it when he's playing well and stuff. But you know, when he plays bad, everyone blames it on his shooting. Like, I don't know, man. The guy tries. The guy gives everything for Chelsea. I just think he's another one where if he was English, I think everyone would love him, to be honest. But yeah, I wouldn't give him higher than a 2 just because he was a part of that midfield. But again,
I'm so confused
with Jorginho.
Honestly,
I agree. I hear what he's saying, you know, but I think Kovacic is pretty well liked.
He was bad.
I think Kovacic is pretty well liked among the fan base, bro. Like you might see. However, though, I almost called you by your real names there as well. You might see it differently because it's the same way. And I know that there might be a bit of friction. It was the same way Hajir sees a lot of Tammy abuse because obviously his affiliation online with Tammy Abraham is so much stronger than most. And obviously PYS, your account is very strongly linked with Kovacic, and obviously is your header with Tuchel. So I think perhaps you might see a bit more direct Kovacic hate because your social media presence in the football community is perhaps linked to him more strongly. From what I see in the circles that I see anywhere, I definitely see people really like him. It's just there are certain limitations that are frustrating, and when they're exacerbated to the extent they were in today's game, it can really bother certain people, I guess. But you've obviously seen it differently, which I get, man. I totally get.
No, but you know why I'm so confused is after everything Pice said, I thought he was going to give him a 5, and most people in the chat said 3 or 4, and I would have agreed with a 4. Because, I thought he was poor in the first half, but still better than Zuma and Jorginho. I would have given him probably a 2 for the first half, and then maybe a 5 for the second half. Hence why I would have said 3 or 4 overall. Because, like I said, but I think we have to put it into perspective. Like, yes, I know we conceded 5 goals, but we didn't concede 5 goals. Like, not all 90 minutes were shocking just because we conceded 5 goals, right? And you have to consider, yes, we were bad, but these other players also had to play for an hour with down to 10 men. So like, I think that has to be taken into account somewhat. That yes, we conceded 3 goals in the second half, sure, Jay, but we also were down to 10 men, and that wasn't. I mean, you could argue he was involved in Thiago Silva getting sent off, but do you know what I mean? Like, I would.
I know, I do get you, bro. I do get you, but like, and I know Bayern are like a step above Chelsea, but when Bayern went 10 men down against Frankfurt, who are a very good team, they won 4-0. Yeah. Stuttgart, sorry, they won 4-0. Like, we're playing West Brom, who are 2 wins in 17 games. We haven't lost in 14 games coming into this. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
No, I see what you're saying there. And we'll get to, we'll get to Tuchel's rating later, shall we say? But what are we going to agree on overall then? Because, like I said, I would have given it 4. Jay said 1. Pye said 2. So are we going to do 2.5, 3 then, or what are we doing?
Bro, I would have given him like 3 or 4, but I just said 2 because I thought you guys would be annoyed if I went higher. But obviously, okay. I thought he was really good in the second half, so I would bump his ratings up for that. But the first half, he was really bad.
Okay, then because if you and I say 4 and Jay says 1, then we'll give him the 3. It has to be but everyone still heard you, Jay, that you think it was a 1. Don't worry.
I know. It's just frustrating. Like, when he plays in that role, he's a bit more box to box, and he plays alongside Jorginho, and I just think it's a bit frustrating that as a box to box midfielder, when he plays that role slightly, I know it's not conventional, but as a box to box midfielder, I think his defensive work is not great and his shooting is not great, and that frustrated me too much.
I agree with those statements, but I think 3 is a bad rating as it is. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't think.
I get you.
If that makes sense. But let's get to Hakim Ziyech first, who I thought was somewhat unfortunate to be the one to be taken off when Thiago Silva got sent off. Not saying that Ziyech was great before, but at least he was involved, unlike Christian Pulisic, who I know scored 2 minutes before the red card, yeah. But before that, you never saw a single thing of Pulisic, really. So that was a bit of an interesting one, I guess. But it's difficult to judge Ziyech, really. If we're going to give him, like, I don't know. I know some of you guys said no one gets higher than a 3, but by the time he was on, we was 1-0 up. So, like, do you know what I mean? So are we going to give him a 4, a 5, a 3? What are you saying, Jay? Let me go with you first.
Oh, your comments are going to hate me now. I thought he was so bad.
No, I didn't think he was great either, but still, we were 1-0 up. Like, and if we won the game 1-0, he wouldn't be getting a 2 wide. Do you know what
I know. I hear. Yeah, you're right in that sense. Like, but the thing is, we're 1-0 up through nothing to do with him. Yeah, your argument's a good one in the sense that if we were to win 1-0, then he would have probably got a better rating. But for the time he was on, mate, I just thought his passing was a bit off. He looked a bit lost. I think partly down to as well, West Brom really had it planned. Like, their plan perfectly worked today, and they were very dominant. But yeah, with your argument, maybe a 4. I don't want to give anyone above a 3.
Just quickly to interrupt. Yeah, that is harsh on Kovacic. But hey, it's a combined effort. But hey, now continue on your statement on Ziyech. Continue. Sorry. Whoever commented that, I don't agree. But typically, what's her name? Sorry, Melinda. Melinda actually always has really nice opinions in this chat. So big up yourself. Yeah, God, Ziyech, man. 4, I don't care. 4. No one is getting like anywhere. No one is getting a 5. Absolutely not. I thought his passing was terrible, generally. So yeah, I don't know. Let me just ask you quickly. You know that moment where he played the through ball to Pulisic? Are you blaming Ziyech for overhitting it, or blaming Pulisic for not starting the run, or both? Both. Fair enough. But to be fair, I just think maybe I'm being a bit hot-tempered because of the game, but Ziyech 3 or 4. I don't know. That would be what I'm saying. I'll hear what you boys have to say as well, though. Like, I fully agree. If I look at this here on the bottom, and we'll get to Pye in just a second, I agree that giving him a 4 looks silly. But again, like, if we actually look at it, he was taken off after half an hour, and we was 1-0 up at the time. And I know he wasn't great, but he wasn't conceding 5 goals bad. Like, that is a bit different. That's all I'm thinking. So maybe I'd agree with a 4. maybe I push it to I know a 5 is too high, but then again, we've played other games and I gave people a 6. And I'm like, I didn't even think he was a 6, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, we should maybe compare it to ratings from other games. But Pys, what would you have given Ziyech, considering everything we just said?
I'll give him lower than you guys because he didn't play much. He obviously got subbed off, not his fault.
Yeah, well, that's not his fault.
A few things annoyed me though. This guy loves to spam cross when there's no one to bloody cross to. I thought some of his crossing was just like, he put one good whipped ball in, but it was like still didn't get to Alonso. He never ever takes on a man. I've never seen a winger who literally can't dribble or refuses to actually take on someone. He missed as well a few overlap opportunities when Reece was going down that I noticed, and instead just spam crossed. So that annoyed me. Obviously, the break with Pulisic, that annoyed me, wildly overhit. So for me, especially because he came off, obviously not his fault at all, but again, that hampers his rating for me because we didn't see a full match of him. So I'll probably give him. But the thing is, we give Kovacic a 3, but like, can we give Ziyech a 3 when he didn't play like as much as Kovacic and didn't have any impact in the second half? Like, I don't know.
I'll give his rating to satisfy. I'll give his rating an asterisk just because he only played the first half an hour.
But then again,
so
I didn't rate his performance anyway to give him a 3. To be honest, I thought he was really bad. So
yeah, but I said to Jay, if we win this game 1-0 and he plays like he did for the half an hour for the whole game, there's no chance to give him a 3. No chance.
I don't know. You know me, I'd probably give him like a 5 or something. But he wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
But he wasn't like he didn't impact the game anyway in the time he was on. So what's the difference? I don't know. He's not. Yeah. He wasn't that good. So I don't know. He annoyed me. So I ain't giving him a high rating. I'm sorry. He annoyed me. Okay,
so just to recap quickly, Jay, what would you have given him? 4.
3.
3. Okay, so you both are saying 3. Is that what you're saying, Pys, or would you say even lower than Kovacic?
Jay's gonna hate me, but he wasn't on for the whole game, so I can't give him higher than Kovacic. So I'm going.
Yeah, but we give the subs usually like a 7 as well, and they only play.
Yeah, I'm viewing it in isolation in that half an hour because
no, but he was crap. He wasn't good in the half hour.
Yeah, he was crap. But I thought I gave Kovacic a 1 to be fair. So I thought.
Okay, Kovacic. I thought Ziyech.
Yeah, Jay, I'm on your case. When Kovacic has a masterclass, you're getting mentioned.
Mate, if Kovacic has a masterclass, I will love it. I said to you, I love the player. I honestly just thought he was shit today. I thought everyone was so bad. Like,
I'm on your case,
mate, please. I can't wait for you to at me. I cannot wait. I'm just going to...
Yeah, it's 50k followers. He'll just get you followers. Don't worry.
No, he won't. He won't. There'll be like little PYS minions just coming at me being like, you don't know shit about football. And I'm like,
Kovacic live's coming for you, bro.
Yeah, I know. That's it.
But Jay, what would you give Ziyech then?
Do you know? I said on the game stream I would have given him a 1 or a 2. But I heard your argument, and I thought in isolation, if that continued, if he were to play the whole game and the game played out as it was when he left the pitch, he probably would have got a bit higher. But in terms of hearing what PYS has to say in that sense, then 2. I give him a 2.
All right. Then he's getting a 3 just because of what I said in terms of overall. But fair enough. I think that's a bit harsh, but okay. We get to Pulisic, who, I'm showing the ratings to you. So if I had to adapt them, I can't change them while showing them. It doesn't work. Sorry. Jester was clearly having a go at me for, having a go at Pulisic. Again, I just didn't think he would. I noticed him in the first 15 minutes, and, Ziyech was a lot more involved. He certainly impacted the game more than Pulisic, hence why I disagree with your statement a little bit on Ziyech. Again, I'm not saying he was good, but at least he was involved, and that's better than being invisible as a forward player. But Pulisic also scored, and he did well, and finally we had a player that actually got onto one of these second balls. And second half, if we had anyone to get onto the end of second balls, then we might have still got a draw here because we had so many balls in the box that were just bouncing about and we never got on the end of them. If a couple more people were like Pulisic when he scored that goal, we might have still gotten the 4-4 draw out of this or whatever. So I know you said no one's getting a 5, but the man's good. I'm giving Pulisic a 5. I don't care what anyone says. We don't have to give him a 5 overall. Just my personal rating would be a 5. Let me go with Pies first in this one. Pies, what you're saying about Pulisic?
To be honest with you, I'm more annoyed the fact that he came off. Like, that's one of the things I was annoyed with Tuchel about. Like, I don't know. For me personally, I would have just put Mount in the pivot, took off Jorginho.
Is this true?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I've never heard
I don't think that's true. No, I just think it was a. Well, can you even call it a tactical substitution? Because Pulisic was like doing decent. Like, I don't know. Like, what? I don't understand that sub, to be honest with you. But in terms of rating, I don't know if I can go 5 just because I'd be being a bit hypocritical towards Ziyech when I said, it took him off so that, it hampers down his rating a bit. He didn't play the full game. So I'll probably give him a 4 because he scored. 5 if he stayed on. But again, that's not his fault. But I have to use the same logic in the fact that obviously I hampered down Ziyech because he came off. So I kind of have to use the same logic for Pulisic as well. So, and I always do that with other players as well. If they don't play the full game, they instantly get a lower rating unless they score a hat-trick or something. So I have to give that for him.
Fair enough. Jay, what about you? What would you have given him?
Yeah, I agree with everything Pil said there, to be fair. I was a bit disappointed he came off. I would have done the exact same thing. I would have put Mount Kovacic in the pivot.
Just quickly, Tuchel did confirm to NBC Sports that Pulisic tweaked his hamstring and that is why he came off.
I'm sick of Pulisic being injured as well. I'm just sick of it.
Yeah, we need another winger in the summer, guys. This guy is actually a joke with injuries, honestly.
Yeah.
Just sign Haaland and turn Werner into our backup winger.
I want Lukaku.
Not this again. I had this conversation with Lewis yesterday already. Let's leave this discussion for another day. But Pulisic, what would you have rated him? Sorry.
3. I don't he didn't play that much. Injured again, which obviously isn't a criticism of his game. Mate, yeah, but the goal was I don't care. I actually don't care. I really don't. I don't know what to say. I was so disappointed with everyone that I think I'm just being hot-tempered. I know, the Kovacic one's the main debate, I think, because it's one of those. Different to Pulisic. I think Pulisic is a 3. With Kovacic, right? It's there's a real balance and a dichotomy between the optics and how it looked and then the statistics, because there are obviously impressive statistics when he plays. And it happens consistently. His dribbles are brilliant almost always. I thought his passing was off, but I don't know. And it's frustrating that Kovacic isn't in the same bracket of Jorginho, is frustrating type of player. But I see Kovacic as one of these types of players where you look at him and you're like, goodness me, there's a player in there that is one of the top 5 midfielders in the world. He has that potential to be that guy. And I don't think I see it enough. And then when his performances were as bad as I felt it was today, then that impacts how I think in terms of his rating. But in terms of his natural talent, he's one of the most naturally gifted players I've seen play for Chelsea in the last 10 years. But I just think his performances and his, some of his deficiencies are so glaring sometimes that it makes it really frustrating. And he's one of the players, like Jorginho. I love it when those players do well. I really, really do, because the narrative consistently changes. But it's just, they can also be quite frustrating because when certain limitations are exposed on players, it's like Alonso when he's just when he's sprinting for a ball and the player just saunters past him because he's so slow. It's do you know what I mean? It's really frustrating.
Made the case for Timo Werner when he was outpaced by Ivanovic.
Yeah, but Ivanovic, I said to you, Ivanovic is one of the world's fastest players. It's a fact, that is. Pulisic, we're gonna have to have the conversation at some point of, is there much point in actually keeping him now if he's going to be this injured? Because commercially he's been a success. Really, isn't it?
Kante has this masterclass against Atletico, but he's again injured. It's great to have masterclasses consistently when you're fit. Kante's
got so much credit in the bank, and his level is so superior to Pulisic.
He's still always injured.
Yeah, but when Kante plays, he's always good. When Pulisic plays this season, he hasn't been that. Last season, he was outstanding, especially towards the back end. Without him, we'd have been in a really tough position. But I don't know.
It's a
the
tough one.
consistent injuries. It's really sad. It's sad. It's what it is.
Yeah. I gave Pulisic the 4 now. I mean, Pies said 4, you said 3, I said 5. So I think 4 is the even rating, shall we say. And then we get to Timo Werner. And people will be a little bit surprised here. So I think Timo Werner was probably our best player, to be honest.
No way. Are you crazy, Laurenz?
No, I'm not. Listen, hear me out first. Also, like, who do you like? I know you said Kovacic second half, yeah, but Kovacic was
Send him the Kovacic hive. Send him the Kovacic hive.
Kovacic was bad first half. Like, I agree that Kovacic was good in the second half, but he wasn't good in the first half. And Werner should have won a penalty. Nearly had his ankle broken. That is a penalty. No discussion about it. I know he got shot himself when he assisted for Mount. That's only why he assisted. I don't understand how a striker doesn't shoot there, but hey, it ended up in a goal, so fair enough. Got an assist. And I know he in the end got outpaced by Ivanovic and tried to win a pen a bit foolishly. And so that didn't really work out. But in that build-up, to drop back, win the ball back, how he did start to counter-attack, that was a good moment. And other than that, he barely saw the ball because the rest of the team, Jorginho, Kovacic, the wingers, were all shocking. I will say, the moment early in the game when he was offside again and then missed another sitter again. I know he was offside, so no one will care about the sitter, but essentially he missed the ball again on a free goal. Like basically like against Macedonia. I know it wasn't in the air, so it's a bit more difficult, but essentially he just missed the ball again when he tried to score a goal. So that will take it back down again. But I still think in terms of outfield players, like I said, I would have given Mendy a higher rating because other than the first goal, I don't think he should be blamed much for the goals. I know his goalkeeper concedes 5 goals, but I had the same opinion also on Kepa when we conceded a lot of goals, and I was like, if he, in my opinion, wasn't at fault for any or many of the goals, then I wouldn't have given a low rating. That's just different opinions on how people rate you, right? But Werner was the only thing that did anything other than Alonso, but he should have won a penalty again and got an assist. So, I mean, that's my stance on it, and I'm not saying I'm giving him a 6 or a 7 here, but again, I would probably give him and Pulisic both a 5. But hey, you both can now heavily lower that, but maybe it's ruining people's thoughts of my Werner agenda, but off we go. Pies, what you're saying? You seem very outraged at me saying that.
Bro, sorry, I thought it was crap. Honestly, I always said this. What is the point in playing him against a team like West Brom? There's no like what does he offer? Like seriously, like we fair enough. Like his main thing is getting him behind, right? So why play him in this game? Maybe that's Tuchel's fault for playing him. I know he wants to get his confidence up and stuff, but the guy's first touch is so bad. Did
he have bad first touches today?
Bro, he was missing the ball. Like, there was one time where the ball came across him and he completely missed it. Like, that's what I mean when he was offside. Yeah, no, I mentioned that. Yeah, it frustrates me so much. Honestly, I get so frustrated with him. I just feel like we play with a man down when he plays. Honestly, I really do. I get all these people say, "Oh, he's got the most goal contributions and all that," but mate, I don't care. Like, he's just not a good footballer. Like, he can't dribble. His main attribute is getting him behind, so that makes him useless against like 90% of teams in this league. His finishing's dreadful. He can't pass. Like, I don't see why he's playing over a Giroud or even Tammy at the moment. Like, honestly, Timo Werner. Okay. Werner gets so much cuddles and backing from the fan base, but why? Like, honestly, he's been terrible for us.
Pies, let me interject quickly. I agree with every word you said there, and I probably have even stronger opinions on him than you. I'm just, like Jay did a little bit with Kovacic of like, why is he so bad at shooting? That's true, but that has nothing to do with a 1-game rating to me. And that's like, I agree with every word you said there about Werner. He can't dribble, he can't pass, he can't shoot, all of that. But today he didn't get opportunities to shoot other than
but he didn't get himself involved in the game anyway. So you know what I mean? He did.
He should have won a penalty. He got an assist, and he tried for another penalty more than any other player did. I'm not saying give him a 7. I'm saying he was just better than all the others, and I stick by that.
Just for me, I just don't think he's good enough. Honestly, I don't think he does enough during the game for me. Anyway, hopefully he improves, but I don't know. I guess just the cuddles and stuff he gets from this fan base has really annoyed me lately.
Not from me,
like,
don't worry.
Yeah, not from you, but like everyone's like, today, Werner, it's his time. West Bromwich Albion. Oh, look what happened. You didn't score. You know what I mean? Like, everyone's telling me he's going to bag a brace and our season starts now and all this bollocks. Like, I don't know. He's just such a system player for me, but he doesn't even like. It doesn't even fit this system, to be honest. Like, when he plays out on the left, would you rather have him out on the left, or would you rather, keep trying to play Pulisic? You can actually.
I'd rather have him on the bench. I keep saying this.
Exactly. Like, he's a bench. Like, he's good off the bench because he's got energy and he's good in behind and stuff. But again, even with the in behind thing, it depends who we're playing, because 80-90% of the teams we play are not. They just sit back, and Werner just ends up dropping deep, which I don't like him doing because he's not good at linking up the play. He's not good at passing. So. Like, for me, I don't know. I've boiled up my Werner stance for so long now, and I've tried to give him so much positivity in bad times, and I feel bad for him in a way because, he is 50 million and he should be doing so much better, and he does get a lot of abuse online. But a thing I was thinking about as well is, can you guys actually imagine when the fans come back into the stadium? Like, I've been to Chelsea like many times as well, like, especially the fans around me when Morata was here, like, Christ, they love you, like, they will love the player, but if you start missing chances, there was a lot of abuse for Morata, and Werner historically is not good with the fans in the stadium. So, like, I'm sorry, but I can just see Werner getting bags of abuse because he's not going to just miraculously bloody start scoring 30 goals next season and fix up all his finishing. No, he's always been like this. Even in Leipzig, his finishing was hit and miss. You miss those chances at the stadium, he's going to get abused even more. So how is he going to go on this goal drought now when there's no fans in the stadium, struggle this much, and then just miraculously get better when he has fan pressure as well? It's not going to happen. I don't see how he is going to succeed here unless he massively improves his all-round game. Like, I don't know, man. I have real big worries for him, and I feel like that's
I agree with all of that, but I think that stands separate from today's game.
No, but it's in the overall picture. Like, again, there's no fans in the stadium. He's got a point to prove against a West Brom team who are dreadful, and I don't think he did enough today. Like, there would be more fan pressure on him, especially today as well. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just thinking overall. Maybe I'm going off and
again. I agree with you. He shouldn't have started in the first place, but once he has started, I think he did more going forward than anyone else did, in my opinion. But fair enough, Jay. What would you? No, actually, Pies. What rating would you even give Werner? 2 then, or 1, or what would you say?
Yeah, like maybe a 2 at best. I thought he should have had a penalty, but like I don't know. I get so annoyed with his all-round play. I just think it's so bad. So, I don't know. I'm gonna relax.
Fair enough. So 2 in the bank. A 2 in the bank. Jay,
yeah,
what about you?
We'll go 2.
Oh, man, I like Werner a lot. I really do. I don't know. I can't help but see in there. It's the same with Kovacic. I think I know Kovacic for Chelsea has been a far superior player, generally. But obviously, Werner's got 10 goals, 9 assists for Chelsea this season, and should be on 7 penalties, 1 but 6.
Probably has 10 assists then because he got assists today, didn't he?
No, I've added on the assist for today.
Okay. I thought he had 10 each, but fair enough. Regardless,
I just checked on who scored.
No, fair.
And I don't know. I like him because he's busy. I know that other people don't like him because he's busy. His technical ability is so weak, and it's really frustrating. And the lack of confidence is palpable when he plays, and it's just so disappointing. And he's obviously getting a lot of, as POS says, hugs on social media because of all that's going on at the moment, and the toxicity of the place generally is not very healthy. I thought today, I don't think anyone was above a 3, but he was at least doing what he sort of does, and he causes a few problems here and there. He should have got the pen, fine. I would have liked to have seen him shoot, but clearly he doesn't have the confidence at the moment. But the assist, at least it worked out, because if it didn't work out, that would have been ruthless.
Oh, you would have heard me speak differently if it didn't work out. Trust me.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. He got 28 goals in the Bundesliga last season, and I can't help but think that at some point maybe it might kick in. I think I'm being optimistic, and it's interesting what POS was saying, essentially, that how frustrated he feels watching Werner and I see it and I hear it, and I get what you're saying, and I think it's interesting that different fans have that experience with certain players, and maybe that just boils down to sort of aesthetic preferences and what they like and how they like the games to be played and their fundamental views on what goes on. But I still think Werner needs more time. He has been poor this season, but I think you need to give a player longer than one season, if I'm honest, under two managers. COVID, change of culture, all those things, it really does matter. And if you listen to any professional player talk about it, those things take a while to adapt to. So I'm gonna reserve major judgments until this Christmas next season, because that's what I done with Lampard as well. I said, right, 18 months, then we can really start making judgments, because you get to see a real big picture. And the benefit, especially all of us being sort of young men watching football, is we've got a bit of time to allow things to play out. We've all been fortunate enough to be alive and conscious and be able to see Chelsea be so successful. So we have a bit of time now to see the experiments in buying certain players and what happens. I err on the optimistic side with Werner. I totally see why POS doesn't. I know that a lot of people that I chat to also don't, like yourself, Laurenz. And that's, I guess that's part of the nice thing about football, and also the frustrating thing, because especially on social media, it can cause an incredible amount of conflict and toxicity. But going on to today's game in isolation, no one gets above a 3. Good assist, should have been confident enough to take the goal, but he's evidently not. I don't really know what else to say about him. I would give him I would have said 3, but he dropped back so much, and his link-up play is dreadful. So, and his ability to be the catalyst for play. When you watch Harry Kane drop deep, and it's like, oh God.
Yeah, but I just don't think that was for example, we spoke about the Ziyech pass to Pulisic, where Pulisic didn't run, the pass was over here. Werner actually did really well between two players, finds Ziyech to even open up the chance. He should have won a penalty. He had another moment where he created the moment with the second penalty incident. Obviously, it wasn't one, but at least he created that moment. And then he assisted the goal. How many chances did we have to score that weren't set pieces today? All of them
I agree.
Included Werner. Every single one of them included Werner, where we had half close to anything to the goal that wasn't a set piece. All of it was Werner. I'm just saying that today. Again, I completely agree with all of you guys, and I would be way harsher than Jay in terms of what I see. I don't give him till Christmas because he's too much of a system player. I don't want the system where we're forced to play this half inside left forward. I don't want that. And unless
do you feel the same about Jorginho?
Less so, because I like the system where a player like him fits. I don't like the system where Werner is forced into it, if that makes sense. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, go on.
I was just going to say to POS, actually, talking about Kovacic, really, but I can ask him after you finish what you're going to say about Werner if you want, mate. Just for Werner to, obviously against Liverpool, against the City, these high lines, then there's a striker that works. But that's 2, 3, 4, 5 games a season. That's not enough to pay 50 million for, and whatever his wages are, right? So for me, it's not I give him till Christmas. There is a good chance he, wins me over and changes my opinion, but I've kind of made my opinion. I don't buy. You don't need more than a season to It's nothing to do with finishing. Has nothing to do with I need to get used to the league. Overall, good performances fully, but the finishing had nothing to do with that, in my opinion. Confidence, sure, but I mean, he was confident and then he stopped scoring. So he can clearly also miss sitters when he is confident. Now we're 4 months later of him consistently missing. Sure, now that's an excuse, but it wasn't in December when he started missing, including the one against Rennes. That was one. He missed from inside the 5-yard box when he just came from a brace against Southampton. I know we drew the game, but regardless, he scored 2 great goals. And I think that was a couple of weeks before the miss against Rennes. So, it's not just confidence with him. But like I said, I thought today was decent. So you said 3. Pice said, what did you say? 2. And I would have honestly given him a 5. I think it was decent. But again, a 5 is not a good rating. 5 is not a good rating. I know it's better than the others, but it's not a good rating. Can I carry on that conversation quickly with?
Let's just finish the rating quickly because I know you have to leave.
Yeah. Sure. Should
we give him overall 3.5, 4? What is that? That then 3.5. Then to me, it just seems harsh to give him less than Pulisic personally. To me, that just seems a bit harsh. I'm going to take an executive decision to give him a 4, but I'll give it an asterisk because I know it was my executive decision. So now ask PYS, ask him your question. Ask him your question about Kovacic.
Yeah, I was just going to say, no, this is like a genuine question, not like a bait question. Because you said that you like the system where Jorginho operates and that he's functional and he's effective. And that was my point about Werner. Some people perhaps could like a system where he operates. I was going to ask PYS, who is a big Kovacic fan, what system do you think that Kovacic flourishes most in? Like, how would you have him? Where would you have him? And what sort of system would you have him in that you think he'd be the most effective? And I mean that's like completely sincerely.
I think my plans for next season, I think, are 4-2-3-1. I think I like him in the double pivot, but again, it's hard because Jorginho and Kovacic can play so well together, and then on the other side, they can both get equally defensively exposed, and that's why I think, you know, Kovacic Kante does work a little bit better. But then again, when that happens, when you have Kovacic and Kante, then Kante seems to roam forward, and Kovacic roams forward as well, and I don't like that. I like to always have one sort of sitting midfielder and then Kovacic to go forward. That's what I like and prefer. But I just, and I guess that's pivot options. I guess we want a DM. I want a DM that sits and breaks up the play and passes it to Kovacic. Then he can go forward and play it out wide, etc. I don't think any of our players do that. So I think it's just pivot options are a bit annoying at the moment. But
so you want Declan Rice?
No, don't get me started on Rice, man. Like, no. Honestly, I'll tell you what. He's a very good player, but I don't know if I can handle all the I don't know. There's just something about him. I don't know. He's a really good player. I guess it's the price that's always put me off. 80 to 100 million is absurd. Like,
it's excessive, isn't it?
But again, I see all the arguments for him. Like, he's Prem proven. He's very good DM. You know, he's young. He's a leader. He ticks all the boxes realistically. But
the big box that he ticks is that he's the only DM that's a proper DM and somewhat close to the level we require. That might be available.
And like Rice would then allow Kovacic to go forward. But then again, you know, what do you do with Kante? If you get Rice, you have to sell Kante. You know, so I don't know. There's so many different debates and discussions. I just overall, like Jay said, I think Kovacic's ability as a footballer is just outstanding. It's just obviously those couple of little things, like sometimes maybe his tackling's a little bit off. But saying that, I mean, he has had masterclasses where he's had like 14 out of 14 tackles and shit. So like, for me, I just love the guy. Honestly, I really do. And nothing's changing that. I'm sorry, guys.
No, that is fair enough. And like I said, Jay asked me the question with Jorginho. Do I necessarily want to keep Jorginho and force him into the team? No. But I think him in a system harms the rest of the team less than forcing Werner into a system. Obviously, right now, the back three works. But my logic is this. I don't want to keep playing this back three where we have this ideal position for him, even though he didn't play it today for whatever reason. And then in a back four, a front two, I would rather, next to whichever striker we sign, I would rather Havertz next to them rather than Timo. So that's why I'm like, I don't want to force Timo into a system because I don't think he works anywhere properly. Again, there's always a chance he proves me wrong in this, but yeah, that's my stance on this. Let's get through the three subs. Obviously, Christensen came on for Ziyech when Thiago Silva got sent off. Well, AC Hive and all of that, AC Penitentiary, well, it looks like everyone got released today because he was shocking. He was absolutely shocking. Like, to me, he was as bad as Zuma, just he tried a bit harder. Like, he didn't have the, I stopped running. Yeah, I mean, yes, he was. Like, it was shocking. It was shocking to me. But again, it kind of just showed what we all kind of feared because we kind of played a back four after the sending off. What happens? Jorginho was awful. Kovacic wasn't that great. Christensen was awful. Zuma was awful. Yeah, shocker. Back four doesn't really work without signings. Obviously, and Aspie at right back and Alonso at left back. Obviously, that all makes it even worse than it would be in a normal back four, right? But yeah, for me, it's getting no more than a 1. I think it was dreadful. Are you shocked at me, or did you read something?
No. One of the comments. Sorry.
What did the comment say?
The Tyrone one, the most recent one. I started reading it and I was like, oh god. Then I got to the end and I was like,
well, why are you going to be so like the day's already pressing enough, Tyrone? Why are you going to make it worse? But
that rocked me big time, you know. Christensen, yeah, man. I don't think he's bad as Zuma, but 2. I'd give him a 2.
Okay, Pies, what about you?
That's probably a plus point for my bias. Okay, I'll admit that. I will admit that.
Fair. Pies, what about you? What would you give? AC. Cannot hear you, bro. So I guess let's just give him a 1.5 then. I would have said 1, you said 2, so 1.5 it is, I guess.
I can't imagine he would have given him anything higher than sort of a 1 or a 2 anyway.
I will still make this argument that I know Silva got sent off, but we didn't concede a goal while Silva was on the pitch, and we conceded 5 while Christensen was on the pitch. So it just doesn't seem fair to give him a higher rating than Silva to me. I'm sorry.
You're killing me. You are killing me.
It just doesn't seem fair. Now, I am slightly joking with that one. But again, I would have given him the same rating. Mason Mount, a weird one. Howler for the first goal. Just missed the ball in thin air.
Oh.
You know, howler, absolute howler. But other than that, it gave us some energy that we strongly required in the second half, especially for the first 10 minutes. But after that, he died off a little bit again. But to be honest, I didn't think that was necessarily all his fault because we played a 4-4-1-1 and didn't really get the ball past the midfield much. So, but again, he got a goal as well. I would have given Pulisic, Werner, and Mount maybe a 5. Deduct maybe 1 for Mount because of the howler, so maybe a 4. And then I know what you guys are going to say. So do we give Mount a 3 as well? What we saying, Jay?
I thought the I don't even know, man. I thought generally the state of play slightly improved when Mount was on, but then we just conceded goals on the break because the defense just completely fell apart. Which I don't know how responsible he is for that. He's definitely at fault for one of those goals. Like, what is he doing?
Yeah,
and it's even more, and it's even more surprising because you know there's been so many debates about Mount, but one thing that you can say about him is he's consistently very good.
Yeah,
and it's quite rare that he makes a very blatant mistake like he did today. And so I think people will probably swarm around that issue specifically. Melinda, I am sorry, by the way, that we gave Mendy a 3. I know you're not happy about it. I see your comments. I'm sorry. Mace, I don't know. Yeah, 3 probably. I said I wouldn't give anyone above a 3 or 4, so probably a 3.
Fair enough. Pice, are you back? Can we hear you? Let's try again. Nope. Cannot hear you. maybe you'll need to, try to disconnect one more time and then we'll manage to make it to the end. I think it's probably the best call. Let's give Mason a 3 then. Again, he still scored. But he also, had a howler. I would think a 4 is more fair. But hey, you say 3. I don't think Pice is going to give him more than that. So I'm just going to, 3 then. I guess we have to do what we have to do. And Kai Havertz, I'm just going to give him I forgot again what it stands for, but an NA. Because I barely noticed him on the pitch, to be honest.
It means not applicable,
exactly.
Right?
I know exactly. I know he was on there for half an hour, but I didn't really notice him, to be honest.
I didn't either. I forgot he was playing. I personally would have put Giroud on.
Yeah.
That's just because
there would have been even less pace. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't even think it was something to do with pace because West Brom was so deep.
Yeah.
Giroud would have been a slightly more unconventional in terms of you would have maybe been allowed to do something or bounce.
I think when you're down to 10, you can't have a player that slow on the pitch.
Yeah, I hear you. We had yeah, fair enough. Yeah, we had Alonso on though, but
yeah, of course.
Giroud is slow, I guess. I'd like to see him have a foot race, but
yeah. Pice, let's try again. Can I hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yes. What a celebration.
All right, cool.
Best thing that happened today. Hello?
No way is he gone again.
Ah.
Wait, hello?
We tried so hard.
Oh, there we go.
Say again.
Hello, can you guys hear
Hello.
me? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. My stream, the stream thing is lagging a lot, so I don't know what's going on today.
Just talk. We can hear you fine.
Yeah. So what rating was we on?
Mason.
Mason Mount. What did you guys give him? Because obviously he got the goal and stuff. So
I would have said 4, maybe 5.
I said
Jay said 3. And I presumed you would give him like a 2, so I gave him a 3.
I'll give him like a 3.5 because obviously he did have that howler as well at the back. So, but he got a goal, so it was decent. And I thought he was all right when he came on. So I'll go for a 3.5.
And what would you give Christensen? I gave him a 1. Jay gave him a 2. So 1.5 we have now.
Yeah, I'd agree. 1.5, something like that. Just, again, he's not great today, to be honest with you. Yeah, he was pretty bad.
Fair. And what about Kai Havertz now that I have you on while your mic is working?
Havertz, he didn't really get involved much, did he? Again, I was really limited sort of minutes. Didn't really. I thought maybe one was a penalty in the box, and then I rewatched it back, and it was a good tackle.
And he kind of kicked him, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. He didn't really. I don't know. How do you give a rating for someone that was on for like not that long? I mean, he didn't really do much.
He was on for half an hour, to be fair.
Was it? Oh, blimey! I thought it was like 15 minutes. Maybe I was like got
let me check to be sure. Sorry, 18 minutes. But we had 5 minutes of injury time, so he came on in the 72nd. So 20 minutes basically.
He got on the ball a bit, but I don't know. I just think kind of the attackers kind of gave up by then anyway. He was getting battered, so you know what I mean. It was like one of those, isn't it? Like I don't know, like 2, 3. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't notice because that means you didn't really make any bad mistakes. So I can't really deduct points from the starting 5, which is how I do ratings. I start at a 5. You do good things, you go up. You do bad things, you go down.
But it's a £70 million player that's just been brought onto the pitch.
Yeah, but I try to not include that because people tell me I'm not allowed with Werner. Do you know what I mean? Because otherwise Werner's getting a -5 every game.
Werner was less money and more effective, but he played more. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, though. I get it.
So
he was less than Kai, though. It's what, 45 mil, 50, something like that.
Kai cost 80, didn't he? Or in pounds 70?
Yeah, I think Kai was overall £72 million.
Yeah, exactly. So that's 20 million more than Werner.
And he disappeared. And I think Kai's not been as good as Werner this season.
No, but he actually had excuses. Werner doesn't. Also, game time. I'm just saying game time. It's like with the whole. He's most goal contributions. I'm like, sure.
Recently. Kai's been outstanding recently.
I will say this, and I would agree with Haji on this. If Tammy Abraham played the same amount of minutes as Timo Werner, he would have 10 goals more than Timo Werner would.
Oh, yeah. I think.
So, anyways, but I don't know. What would, like Pi said, 2 or 3? What would you say, Jay, for Havertz? I just don't know, honestly.
Yeah, probably the same. The same. Also, while you're doing that, there are, as far as I'm aware, you can see it, Laurenz, I can't, but there are over 200 people watching or just around that. Like, we're on 102 likes now. Can we at least push them a bit more? If you're not subscribed, subscribe. There's a very, very close to 10,000 subscribers. That's a huge deal for anyone doing YouTube. So please, if you are here, it's not the most fun talking about Chelsea, as I said earlier, especially after today. So please subscribe and like, and I don't care whether you come to my channels or my Twitter, but make sure you support Laurenz if you're here. Obviously, you probably follow PYS anyway because he's got almost as many followers as Stamford Bridge has seats. Maybe more, actually. I don't know. More. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, more, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, no.
By Kovacic, 50,000 Kovacic Hive fans that are going to be at my door next time. So,
just don't tell anyone where you live, bro. But yeah, like Jay said, get subscribed. That would honestly mean the world to me. Over 200 people. I'm sure some of you aren't subscribed yet, so get subscribed right now. Hit the notification bell button so you don't miss any future streams. Hit the like button. Come on, let's get 150 likes right now. We can easily do that. We have 220 people nearly watching, so go down below, smash the like button, turn it from a dead grey to a blue, even though today blue is maybe not the colour, but West Brom are blue too, so just click that button, turn it blue, and I guess next we get to Mr. Thomas Tuchel, who I have a lot of things to say about today. First of all, I think the lineup was completely wrong. I think he rotates way too much. I think this whole only play players that didn't play the full 90 or didn't start on Wednesday. I'm like, well, that's a load of waffle. Because are you not going to play next Saturday anyone that plays against Porto on Wednesday either? Like, what is that? Like, it's the stupidest thing I've ever had in my life. I understand maybe not starting Mount because he had a little knock during the international break and he looked shattered, when he played for England. Kai was taken off after an hour every time. He could have started. Rudiger is a centre-back. They don't run that much. He could have started. Not Zuma. Like, don't start Zuma and left centre back off back three out of nowhere. Like, how's that happened? Like, don't play players in. Like, we had this go at Frank Lampard. All of us did, playing players out of position. Playing Zuma left centre back off a back three is playing players out of position. So that is a mistake. All the subs, in my opinion, were all wrong. Don't take Ziyech off, in my opinion. You shouldn't have brought Mount on for Pulisic. That was wrong. And then, okay, I mean, Havertz for Jorginho, fine. But that didn't click either. To be honest, make your mind up about what you want to do. Would you have wanted to go all out and get the win? Then make subs like that. And if you want to make sure we don't concede more, well, then take someone like Alonso off. Because if you want to make sure we don't concede, then you should have brought Chilwell on for Alonso. I know we only have 3 subs, but, that would have made more sense than taking either Ziyech or Pulisic off, quite frankly. And I know I said Werner was one of our better players, but in terms of if we want to create and score, then I don't want to keep Werner on the pitch. Like, Werner is this surplus player. If we have 11 players, then Werner can be that 11th. If we have 10 players, I don't want Werner as one of them. We touched on this already. He can't dribble, he can't pass, and he can't finish. So if we already have one man down in the front in the final third, then I don't want a player like Werner on the pitch. But I also see, I say this. First of all of us agreed why did Werner play up front. But then West Brom, until obviously the second half, they were much higher, much more aggressive than I ever thought they were. So I kind of think, well, Tuchel maybe did see this coming, hence why he played Werner up front. Because when I saw the lineup initially, I was very confused. And why is there a fake me in the comments? That makes no sense.
I just seen that. That was so good. Oh, no way. That's so good. Someone's done that. That's brilliant.
I mean, it is brilliant, but it's confusing.
Yeah, it is.
So, like, I think Tuchel did a very bad job today, personally. I think he did. That doesn't mean he's a bad manager. That doesn't mean I want Tuchel out, just to clarify this. But I think he did a bad job today. I think the lineup was wrong. I think the subs were wrong. And I think he did what we criticised Frank for a lot. He was stood on the sidelines with his arms crossed. And I don't like that. So you're getting no more than a 2 from me. But let's discuss what you guys would give him. Let me go with Pice first. But what would you have said?
Yeah, to be honest, I kind of agree with your rating as well. I didn't really like the lineup. I would have played Rudiger. I would have played Chilwell. My front 3 would have been Hudson-Odoi on the left, Havertz up top, and Mount on the right. Or if it's not going to be Mount, then maybe even Pulisic or Ziyech, because obviously Mount did play quite a bit. Who else? I mean, even if Hudson-Odoi didn't start left, I'd have preferred to see him right wing back as well, because obviously West Brom, like, they were sitting deep, and Hudson-Odoi can do stuff down the right and create space and do overlaps and stuff and take on players, which Ziyech doesn't. So I don't know. I just thought he got the lineup wrong, to be honest with you. The subs, again, as I said at half time, I would have took off Jorginho, put Mount in the pivot, and then brought someone else on. So I don't know, man. I think
but you saw how the last 20 minutes went when we did have Mount in the pivot. When Havertz came on for Jorginho, that didn't exactly work either, to be fair.
No, but I think the game was still there at half time. I think it just slowly got away from us as it got on. So I don't know. Like, I think if he made the proactive changes at half time, maybe it could have been different. But in the end, we paid for our sloppy mistakes and our bad play. And look, I'm hoping it's a one-off and it doesn't continue and we go on a bad run. I just hope. Tuchel said after the game as well. He said, we need to learn from this. Maybe it was said something like a learning curve or something for me as well. And that's one thing I will say as well. I really like his accountability. Something that we didn't see from Lampard as well. Lampard never said, I need to learn, I need to do this. Tuchel always says that. You remember before he said, even with players like, maybe it's my fault he hasn't played too much. It's not, mate. Like, it's not your fault. You know what I mean? That some of the players he says that for don't deserve to play. But I like his accountability for stuff. So I think I was really impressed with that after the game. And I guess that's the one positive takeaway from today, is that I kind of can look forward to Porto because, it's going to be, we're going to get a reaction, I think, from the team. And obviously some of the regular starters like Mount, Havertz should start as well. So should be a better game of football, and just hopefully Werner doesn't play, man. I really hope he doesn't play on Wednesday or whatever it is.
Yeah, he probably will. Well, the interesting thing will whether Silva plays on Wednesday. That is the really interesting one to me. But anyways, Jay, Tuchel, 2 more.
Yeah, two is fine. I agree with everything that you both have said. Also, I think the lineup that POS said that he would have gone for, I totally agree. I would have given Ziyech over Mount just because Ziyech's been on good form.
Bro, Jay exposed it. It's funny in that, but if you're spam, I have to just put you in a timeout. It don't work like that.
I would have given it to Ziyech. He's been on decent form for Chelsea recently over Mount. Yeah, Mount's played really well for England. And I agree with what POS said. I trust that Tuchel will learn from this. His accountability is great, but I genuinely believe he will learn a lesson from this. Whereas some managers say it's a learning curve and won't change. I really do believe that that he will change and adapt. And that gives me hope for the rest of the season. Because I think it's probably needed sometimes. Chelsea are a team that suffer from arrogance within that dressing room occasionally when things 100%. Are going really well. I think that exacerbates it even more so, and Tuchel's going to definitely learn, and hopefully the players do as well. And then we can look forward to Wednesday.
The only thing I don't like with the whole accountability and that, he said he maybe still has to get used to only having 3 subs. I'm like, well, time you do that, mate, because I mean, he has less excuses for that even because the French league got terminated. So he only played with 5 subs for like 3 months or 4 months, like until he got sacked on Christmas Day. So he didn't even have this for as long as everybody else did. So I think this is super weird. And you know, maybe he will probably say that was part of it today. And he said this about 2 or 3 games already now. Maybe I still need to learn after 5 that only have 3 subs. I'm like, that is weird to me. But hey, you know, I also will say I wouldn't have started Callum as part of the front 3. I would have started him at the right wing back against a team like West Brom. I think, you know, I rate Reece. I like Reece a lot. But if we're as a right wing back against West Brom, I want Callum there. I don't want Reece James there. I don't like that. I think it's pointless, personally. But hey, it is what it is. Like Pi said a minute ago. No, I'm not too harsh on the man. He took the blame himself, so clearly he agrees that he was bad. So, you know, I think we're fully... that was the next bloody account. Pi's exposed.
Why is this Pi's exposed thing?
Shambles. Anyways, like Pi said, we probably will get a reaction. And, you know, we have to always take the positives. You know, we had to get a bad result out at some point. We was very unlikely to go unbeaten until the end of the season. So maybe we got the only defeat out. Because how many games do we have left? Less than 14, probably, at max. So by that logic, if we go another 14 games unbeaten, we're going to finish top 4, win the Premier League, win the FA Cup, and win the Champions League. So I'm a big fan. So we got that defeat out the way. And, you know, we move. Hey, it's upwards and onwards. Again, I really do appreciate both Jay and Pies coming on, especially like Jay said a couple of times. On a day like this, when Chelsea get battered and we know opposition fans, you know, are taking a piss out of us. We know a lot of people are going to disagree with us and throw abuse and hate at us. You know, it's what we do, especially what I do. I've been doing this for a very long time, so I'm used to it, but it's still not the most fun thing. We would all rather, you know, do something that takes our mind off it rather than keep talking about it for 3 hours. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate all of you that joined us. Again, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you drop a like. Let me see how many we're on. We're definitely not on 150 yet. I said you're quite a high target, but 119. So let's get 150. Come on, guys. We still have plenty of people here. So let's make that happen. But again, like I said already, subscribe to the Chelsea Social, which, of course, Jay is a part of. Check out Jay on Twitter, @JMcIntosh. The link should be in the description, same as with Pies. Check him out, CFCPys. On Twitter, of course. Follow both of these guys. I don't know if you guys have anything else to add. Let me go with you first, Pies, before we round this out.
No, yeah, I'm sorry if I've been a bit down or harsh on players and stuff. I'm usually kind of a little bit more upbeat, but obviously really bad results today. And I'm just, you know, I guess the one thing I will say I did see was on Twitter, if you believe in, like, if you guys in the comments have seen, like, CFC Dubois' thread about the Champions League and all that, I think he did say that the last time we lost at home to West Brom, or was it like 2011-12? So if you believe in all that, like,
of course it was.
Honestly, the guy has got, like, if you go and read the
it's
thread,
insane.
Like, It's actually scary. So if you guys want to like a link to that or something and don't know where to find it, just DM me and I'll link you to it, because like it may cheer you up, you know, if you believe in those conspiracy theories. Like that's kind of creepy. So, but anyway, yeah, just good stream, and well, good I suppose in terms of like speaking to you guys, but not so good in the results. So I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
100%. Jay, what about you? Any last words?
No, just make sure people go and follow you lot on Twitter, both of you. Subscribe to this channel. Go and check out the Chelsea social. Go and check out us on Twitter as well, because the website put 2 articles out a day, and the Chelsea women's social, because if you want to cheer up, go and find out about the women's team, because
exactly. They're brilliant.
They're outstanding. The website's doing really well, man. We're breaking records for reads each month, and that's really positive. So, you know, go and check out the content we do there, because we've got amazing writers who do longer form pieces that dive into sort of all the issues around Chelsea. And, you know, most important thing that someone can do today if they're watching this video is make sure they subscribe, turn on the notification bell to Laurenz's channel, make sure you like the video as well, because 10K is so close. So please do that. And yeah, thank you for having me on as always. And it's always lovely to chat to PYS as well.
Exactly. Appreciate both of you guys for coming on, and hopefully talk to you soon, hopefully under better circumstances. But again, guys, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate all of you guys. This is clearly a fake Lou Beneventi, but, you know, you would definitely not be saying things like that to me. But, you know, I appreciate all of you. Thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea. Upwards and onwards. You know, we take the positives as much as we can. And I'm back. I clicked the wrong button. My bad. Thank you for watching. That's the weirdest thing that's ever happened. To anyone that's here, you are now allowed to laugh, because I basically, you know how on a touchpad, if you swipe left, yeah, we have to talk about this quick. You know how on a touchpad, if you swipe left, you kind of go back on the page you're on, and rather than I swiped left and I know I was gone. So yeah, that's what happened. Do apologize again. Thank you, Pys. Jay has gone, but yeah, appreciate all you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers.